XCR 375 H&H Mag here, and I'm doing a quick video. The Congress is at it again. It's time to decide, people. They're coming after the guns. There is a new bill which was introduced on, I believe, December 16th by Congress. It's H.R. 4269. And it's pretty much banning of all semi-automatic rifles and handguns. This is what they did down in Australia. I'm reading the article right now as I'm doing this video. 123 Democrats have put this bill together and are bringing it up for a vote. So they're at it. They're coming after the Second Amendment like they always do. And it's on. Pretty much, they want the public disarmed. I've been watching a History Channel show called The Sons of Liberty. Very good show. And 1776 is repeating itself. I'm also a history major from school and college. And it's repeating itself. We're having our rights taken away. We're having the attack on the Second Amendment constantly. I'm sure NRA and Gun Owners of America, I prefer Gun Owners of America because they just have a flat-out no policy on gun control laws. Period. They vote and lobby for no, absolutely no, whereas the NRA in the past has worked with the politicians, and not until recently have they taken a more firm stand and absolutely said no whatsoever and drastically opposed it. So, and for all you skeptics out there that say, oh, they won't do it, well, you know what? They did it in the 90s under Clinton. They passed the assault weapons ban, okay? They did it. So, wake up, smell what's going on, get active. And I tell you, 2016 is going to be a really interesting year. So, it's coming down, people. I like to read a quote here from Samuel Adams. The liberties of our country, the freedom of our civil constitution are worth defending against all hazards, and it is our duty to defend them against all attacks. All attacks, people. And then he goes on to say, let us remember that if we suffer tamely a lawless attack upon our liberty, we encourage it and involve others in our own doom. It is a very serious consideration which should deeply impress our minds. He's right. Our liberties have been attacked over and over and over again, and we don't do anything. And here's the final portion of his quote. That millions yet may be the miserable sharers of the event. Samuel Adams, Boston Gazette, October 14th, 1771. That was a quote from him, and he's absolutely right. It's time to take a stand, people. It's been way past time to take a stand. They're coming. They're coming for the guns, people. And the only reason why we haven't been totally taken over is because of the Second Amendment. It's not a privilege or anything like that. Not the way the government wakes it up, writes it up and stuff. It's coming. And like I said, the freaking libtards, 123 of them, all Democrats. The bill is H.R. 4269. I will put a link down below about this. Because you know what? If they pass this, it's never going to end. And for you people that think, oh, we got the Supreme Court, not going to make a difference. The current establishment has probably so much dirt on the Supreme Court justices that they will vote the way they are told. And as far as I'm concerned, the Supreme Court does not have the final say in my life. The person that has the final say in my life or being is God, is myself. And get prepared, man. People, women, men, whatever. Get prepared, people, because it's coming. 2016, we're going to probably see more attacks, more false flags, more shootings, more crises, more stuff going on over in the Middle East. So they're at it. You know, it's just a matter of time. You already have state governors pulling people's rights. The governor of Connecticut, I believe, has done an executive action saying that if you're on a no-fly list, you're not allowed to own firearms. Well, guess what? That just violated your right to a fair trial and to be brought in front of a judge and to be judged by your peers. So they're already taking your rights away, people. It's just like leading up to when the United States was in its colonial stage. Government is just doing whatever it wants, whenever it wants, violating people's rights, whenever. So, I always say history repeats itself, and it is repeating itself. A legislature can legislate away people's rights just as easily as a king can get rid of people's rights. And that's what they're doing. And get prepared. If you're a constitutionalist, libertarian person that believes in being prepared, get out of the commie states, get out of the socialistic states, because you're going to be the first targets. Get to free states. Get to states that don't infringe on your rights as much. Get out. Because if you're in a state such as California, you stick out like a sore thumb. If you have the ability to get out, get out. I would also suggest you find like-minded people in your area and get plans set up to rally at certain areas and have to leave if they start, raiding people's houses. You think that won't happen. Well, it can, and who knows if it will, but distinct possibility. They're already doing stuff like that up in California. So you have states such as California that use their, I believe it's the California Department of Justice has a little division that has officers that go out and knock on people's doors and say, hey, is this you? And if you have any firearms in the house, they'll confiscate them if you have like a warrant or something like that from a long time ago, whatever. There's information up on that on YouTube, so you're gonna have to do your own research. I think I'm really kind of done trying to wake people up and giving them evidence and proof and facts and everything like that of what's going on. If they haven't woken up by now, they're not going to wake up, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to get people to wake up and so forth, because I need to spend my time on getting my stuff prepared and prepped and working on my situation here and rebuilding some of my food stocks. And working on group issues and so forth. And I'm done trying to convince people. And I think ACAS has it said pretty accurately is there is no coexisting. We are so divided. And you go back and you read articles during the American Revolutionary War, and you pretty much had two sides that are very divided. You had the people that were really loyal to the king, which nowadays would be to the government, the social benefits and everything else, and the free welfare and all that stuff. And then you had the independent, the rugged individuals, the Sam Adams, the Ben Franklins, and Thomas Jeffersons, and John Adams, and so forth, standing up against this tyranny. You have two camps: the people that are awake and the people that are sucking off of that government tit. So we're at that point. I mean, it's right here. HR, 4269. I'll read it. While Americans anxiously prepared for their Christmas festivities, anti-gun proponents in Congress were hard at work drafting a new bill. If passed, H.R. 4269 would literally redefine the Second Amendment as evidenced by the bill's description, which in no uncertain terms clarifies its ultimate goal: to regulate assault weapons, to ensure that the right to keep and bear arms is not unlimited for other purposes. To ensure that the right to keep and bear arms is not unlimited and for other purposes. So, the bill directly targets every semi-automatic firearm in the United States, including handguns, shotguns, and rifle. It specifically mentions certain firearms and manufacturers, including the popular AR-15 and AK-47 rifles. Because the law would be federal, it would blanket the country with new restrictions, including making it illegal to own any magazine that exceeds a capacity of 10 rounds. And here's the real kicker: even if your weapon has a legally defined low-capacity detachable magazine, but is modified with any of the following accessories, it's considered an assault rifle and would be outright banned in the United States: pistol grip, a foregrip, a folding, telescoping, or detachable stock, which pretty much means every single AR, a barrel shroud, and a threaded barrel. And here it goes to describe a semi-automatic rifle that has a fixed magazine with the capacity to accept more than 10 rounds, except for an attached tubular device designed to accept and capable operating only with 22 caliber rimfire ammunition. I'll put a link down below. It's just, they're coming. They're coming for them, people. And everybody's been warning you about this. And if you haven't done things to prepare for this, you're running out of time. Time is very short on this. Anyway, this is just a warning. Read your history, people. It's coming. And for the people that are new to preparing, you're really stuck behind the eight ball. You may not have enough time to get everything in order. Which brings me into another issue here is people have been talking about this for a very long time. You need to start taking this shit seriously and not just use prepping as a hobby. If you're not prepped, you need to get prepped, and you're going to have to dump a lot of financial resources into getting prepared. You don't have the luxury that I had of me starting to prep about 5 years ago and get stuff going, whereas you're pretty much out of time. You're going to have to dump a lot of money and a lot of resources into it, and you're going to need to make it a priority in your life to get prepared for what's coming, because time's short. And if that means that cutting back in certain areas on your budget so you can get your stuff prepped food-wise and stuff, and medical supplies and ammo and weapons and so forth, you're going to need to do it. You're going to need to be committed to it and not just half-ass it. If you're a member of the group and you've been wanting to get purchases done, you better get your ass in gear and get it done. You better take the shit seriously, because I'm finding out through, just meeting people and so forth that just because certain things happen in your life, you can't, just put everything on hold and say, I'm not prepping. For me, I ended up moving out of California into Nevada, and I had to put my preparations on hold for about a month and a half. But I'm back at it. I just bought some more food and so forth, and I'm stocking up because the shit's getting real, and I do believe something not so good is going to happen in 2016 with all these anti-gun bills being brought up in Congress and so forth. So prepping is not a fucking hobby. If it's a hobby for you, then you're not doing it right, and get the hell out of it, because you're going to get yourself or somebody else killed and go suck on the government tit. Um, you have to be committed to this stuff. Um, Going out and buying 50 rounds of ammo and a pistol ain't going to do shit for you. You're going to need to get more than that, and you're also going to need to go get training. And you're going to have to find like-minded people because you're not going to be able to survive it alone. I'm fortunate up here. I found a lot of like-minded people. So, and I'm working with them also. The guys in the military know that already, but other people out there, you really got to get your ass in gear and get committed. Yeah, it's great having, a year's supply of food on hand for everybody in your household, but you know what? You're going to need to be able to defend it. You can't do it by yourself. So you're going to need to develop your own ways to get the hell out of high populated areas, and so forth. Yeah, and find like-minded people. Anyway, this video's gone on quite a bit. I just, it's very, what's the word? See what's coming on the horizon? So they're doing it. They're pushing it. And for people that say, oh, it's not going to happen, they did it back in the 90s under Clinton. Okay, they pushed through the assault weapons ban bill, which expired, I think, 10 years after it was pushed through. So anyway, you really, there really is a divide in this country today. So anyway, hope I got all my points across. History's repeating itself. We had great people, great men and women who put this country together back in 1776, and they foresaw the way men and the powers that be act. So you really need to get your shit together. Groups need to get their shit together. If you're in a crappy group and it's not working, you can't get people committed, fucking leave. Find people that are committed to this and actually will put the time in. That's the best advice I can say. Because time's short. You're going to need to get, prepared and see if, you have people in your area that you can group with. Do not become complacent. So, anyway, XCR 375 signing off.